We cannot have Americans in Jamaica enjoying the beauty of Jamaica, living it up in Jamaica, earning in Jamaica, while our Jamaicans are being deported. Flipping deport every white American right now. And that's right there. I'm dead serious. And if another country wants to start that war, we deport their people too. It is time for us to stand up. No flipping tenacious spirit to fight against these so-called flipping privileged people. Who the hell you think you is?
Have you ever wondered what would happen if one country had so much influence over your country's economy that every decision is made affected your daily life? What if rising prices, job losses, and even the food of your table depends on policies made thousands of miles away? That's the biggest question many Jamaicans are asking today. So, I want you to watch out this video until the end. Then I'm going to come with a lot of comments later. And also remember, if you are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscription button. And also don't forget to comment, like, and share this video, because if you are going to do so, it is going to be highly recommended to a lot of people outside there. So watch this video out.
So, two things. Firstly, I have one confession. I was one of the persons who, from a business perspective, I liked Donald Trump more than the other persons who were vying for that position. I didn't like him because I do cryptocurrencies, and he was a pro cryptocurrency advocate, and he got elected, making history in America as the first administration to be completely pro crypto. So from that perspective, I liked him. There was a second perspective where he was completely against the LGBTQIA community, which I personally believe had started to become a terrorist organization on our kids and on straight people. And he was totally against that. And for those two main reasons, I liked the individual. I'm not an American and I couldn't vote. And if I was in America, I honestly would have voted for Donald Trump. Now, being elected and seeing what this man is currently doing, it's not time to point fingers on those who voted from those who didn't. Because the truth is, Kamala Harris and the others, they really didn't have any plans to do nothing. Just a bunch of crap. And we saw what we saw. No, if I knew, money or not, business or not, if I knew that Donald Trump was going to be pushing a blatant racial idea, a blatant racial movement, I would not have supported this man by a long shot. Because one thing for me, I'm very patriotic. As a black Jamaican man who have witnessed my black Jamaicans cleaning white people's shit all over this world just to make a living. And I watch Mexicans cleaning and being the janitors and the yard boy just to make an honest living. I am asking the Prime Minister of Jamaica, coupled with the opposition leader, plus all civil rights groups, third party leaders, to put aside every flipping differences, come together and let's stand up against this blatant cruelty from a narcissist, a racist as Donald Trump, from a racist government as the United States government. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we stand up against all of the absurdities that this man been dishing out to people without any care in the world? I am asking that we boycott or stop every single American product from coming into this country, and let's get it from China or somewhere else, or we ban our flipping belly until we get those products, if they are so important, elsewhere, or we make it, because Jamaica is self-sufficient. Let's get back there. I am also asking that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, with all the other leaders, opposition and everybody, Andrew, do something right for the first in your damn life. Sitting in the damn office. Make us see that you're a man. Because God knows we don't know what you are. Stand up against this injustice. Stand up against the cruelty being dished out to our people by the hands of a country that we claim to be our ally. United Nations and all the others obviously are in bed with Donald Trump. Whoever in Jamaica is in bed with Donald Trump needs to get out. This little orange head man, or orange head insignificant mass of cytoplasm, needs to understand that he has started a war. If you all are afraid to make the decisions, put me in the damn seat and watch me work. Every single American citizen currently in Jamaica, preferably white, needs to go. And all our black Jamaican brothers and sisters who are being deported needs to inherit the places of abode that these people who are currently occupying. We cannot have Americans in Jamaica enjoying the beauty of Jamaica, living it up in Jamaica, earning in Jamaica, while our Jamaicans are being deported. Flipping deport every white American right now. And that's right there. I'm dead serious. And if another country wants to start that war, we deport their people too. It is time for us to stand up. No flipping tenacious spirit to fight against these so-called flipping privileged people. Who the hell you think you is? You little orange-head monkey. Or use Donald Trump, Elon Musk. We are white people. Well, listen, now you all see. Now you all know this man has trampled on our history, banning Black History Month. You come out and ban Black History Month and other ethnic groups days and historic moments that they celebrate, but you allow the white days and the white holidays to blossom and flourish. Obviously it's a racist agenda and a racist movement you have started, and Donald Trump, believe me, that is a war you cannot win. I am asking for all black American soldiers, black police officers, black nurses, Spanish soldiers and doctors and nurses. How the hell can you still serve a country that is blatantly disrespecting your heritage? Telling you know, Donald Trump, you can't win this war. China and Russia, BRICS, Brazil, all of you, South Africa, welcome. Welcome. If I become Prime Minister of Jamaica tomorrow morning, I will immediately join the BRICS alliance. We can always trade and we don't have to go to the US. There's nothing America has that we want. Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. This is my message. I will see how many persons share it. I will see how many persons share it. Alright, Jamaica, let's talk. Quickly, because we're not wasting nobody time. So Donald Trump has been playing a serious game. A game that is going to push a lot of people into some serious poverty-stricken conditions. It's called the tariff war or the trade war. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is it that Donald Trump is doing this when the U.S. economy is in a debt of $36 trillion? And as it relates to credit debt, they are currently sitting at an all-time high of 1.21 trillion US dollars in debt, meaning people are on the money to pay for them credit card debts. All right? That means the bank and all these people going to now do what they have to do, liquidate whatever they have to liquidate from these customers that are not paying, that are not repaying their debt. 25% tariff to Canada and Mexico. Yeah, it was a big deal and can affect a lot of Americans, which the ripple effect is that a lot of Americans or Jamaicans living abroad who are about to face these challenges can't send any money back to Jamaica. And that is in the form of what we call remittance. So when they collect money through Western Union, MoneyGram and these places, remittance. And for those of you who don't know, the diaspora, meaning the people overseas who are sending money back home, your auntie, your uncle, your granny, these are the people who are going to be put out of jobs because of the tariff increase, and these producers can't pay no 25% for nothing while still paying people. So they're going to cut staff, yeah, and the country might be forced to do something known as hyperinflation, which is to increase minimum wage significantly, again putting the pressure on the private sector who can't pay that. So them cut staff and try to see if they can still keep their businesses stable. I am not a financial advisor. I did not do economics, but I'm an idiot. All right, follow me. Now, the European Union is consist of several countries in Europe. Donald Trump yesterday now imposed a 25% tariff on the European Union, forcing all those producers and manufacturers in Europe to hike prices in order to meet their customers' demands from the US and other places. Now, the US, you must understand, is the #1 economy. A lot of people are sending and doing a lot of trade to the US. They were already complaining about the price of egg because it gone through the roof. Now, you think it's just egg that's going to be affected? No, that you have put tariff on Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. And guess what? Today, the 27th of February, mark it, Donald J. Trump just imposed an extra 10% tariff on China. China was already on a 10% tariff just a few weeks ago. Now, an extra 10% would put 10 plus 10, 20%. 20% to China. Do you know who is China? You don't know who is China? China is literally the hub for mass production. China produce things and, yeah, package things and for thousands, if not millions of customers in almost every country. So America being a hub where a lot of the shipping goes through to get to some of these countries. So now China, Europe, Mexico and Canada have to find ways to either reroute or sending to their customers in the US will have to understand that there's a 25% tax added to produce entering the United States of America. And I don't even know if it's entering and also leaving. So like persons in the US sending to these countries. I don't know if the tariff, maybe somebody can actually enlighten me on that in the comment section. But as far as I know, basic understanding, the trade war has started and it's going to impact every single person considerably. Persons in the Bahamas economy, 70% of the Bahamas economy is completely dependent on tourism. Like they get cruise ship almost every day. That's one of the driving force of the Bahamas economy, right? But not just Bahamas. A number of other Caribbean countries are completely dependent on tourism, right? It's not like Jamaica who, well, we were strong on agriculture, but our two main contributors to our economy have been tourism and remittances. So with the hiking of prices, it's going to force employers to, of course, lay off a lot of people, which they don't mind because they have artificial intelligence or robots to replace everybody. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not concerned about who gets laid off. They're simply going to replace you. Amazon did a mascot because now Amazon even have drones that is literally delivering packages to people's homes. You think I joke me make? Elon Musk is currently building 10 billion human-sized robots that you can get for either $20,000 or $25,000. That does everything for you, babysitting, whatever. So all the babysitting jobs and stuff that will cut considerably too. 80% of the workforce will be put out of jobs, will be replaced by artificial intelligence. There's a shift in the economic structure, or the financial structure, or whatever you want to call it, where we're no longer going to be using fiat currency. That's going to be converted to stable coins. Those are digital coins that are pegged to whatever the currency you have in your country. So instead of having 100 Jamaican dollars, you'd probably have 100. They have Jamdex. Jamdex is now the central bank digital currency. So you probably need 100 Jamdex coins. You understand? And these things are going to be run on the blockchain. The blockchain technology is this massive computer that pretty much documents everything digital. So you get instant reports. There's no need for any accountants because by the click of just the click of a button on the computer and it generates everything, which is pretty much transparency on what's happening on a global perspective or within your country or within your region. It's easy to track everything and I guess better deal with what's happening. I don't believe in CBDC because it means central bank digital currency, which gives the central bank and the government control over your money. Now, and in America, Donald Trump, they just literally banned the creation of a central bank digital currency. But what is being promoted? Cryptocurrency, something that the government of Jamaica and other governments refuse to talk about. But everybody else in Europe and a lot of them are now presently on board with the times, forward thinkers, and putting the proper stuff in place to welcome the cryptocurrency era. Some idiots on TikTok, one particular idiot, I try to come discredit me and what me I do. I'm not even give him no credit. But let me tell you this. All of you who are smart needs to understand when there's something happening globally like what we're experiencing now with this tariff war or trade war, when there's a war, the markets are going to crash. The real estate market, all the markets, stock markets, is going to crash. All right? When these things are happening, there's always something that's blossoming, something that's gonna do exceptionally well. What is that thing? Cryptocurrency. Whether you like it or not, this is the new money. You see, for all of you who have your heads so far stuck up the anuses of these politicians, you're going to realize the sad mistake for listening to them and trusting them. Yeah? You see how long they're taking to call a press conference to let you know the severity of what's happening. and how you people are going to suffer. And bear in mind, I said it in the previous video and I'm going to say it again, the United Nations report suggests that more than half of Jamaicans are without food security. By now and April, you're going to start feeling some effects that are unprecedented. 90% of what we eat is imported. The tariffs are significant and cannot be ignored. The starvation is going to be real. If I were you, I would start looking into what cryptocurrencies to buy. XRP is my choice, not a financial advisor. Good luck.
It was a very nice video, and it was a viral video from a Jamaican personality, that is Marvin, that has sparked a serious conversation across Jamaica and the Caribbean. His message is simple but powerful. Jamaica has become too dependent on the United States, and many people believe that this dependence is becoming a major problem. So he said this and why so many people are paying attention. One of the Marvin's biggest concern is about economy. Marvin says that when the United States changes its trade policies, countries like Jamaica immediately feels the effect. For example, let's talk when the USA places tariffs on countries such as China, Mexico, let's talk about Canada, and also or members of the European Union, the prices of goods can rise across the world. Since Jamaica's imports a large amount of its food, fuel, electronics, clothing, and many other everyday products, higher global prices can quickly lead to higher prices inside Jamaica. That means families end up paying more for groceries, transportation, and other basic necessities. Marvin warns that if these trade disputes continue, Jamaica could face serious economic challenges, including inflation, fewer jobs opportunities, and a slower economic growth. So that is the reason why, if you find you are too much dependent to one country to stabilize your community, once that country stops doing or supporting your country, you feel like you are affected. You feel that you are not going to make it. Whether or not everyone agrees with this prediction, many people understand why rising living costs have become such a major concern. So another important issue that was raised by Marvin is food security. He believes Jamaica should produce much more of its own food instead of relying heavily on imports. According to his argument, a country that cannot feed itself is always vulnerable whenever international markets become unstable. Imagine if shipping routes were disrupted or imported. Food becomes much more expensive. Local farmers could suddenly become even more important. Marvin believes investing in agriculture could create job opportunities, could strengthen rural communities, and help Jamaica become more independent. While producing everything, local may not be realistic. Increasing domestic food production is an idea that many people believe deserves serious attention. The conversation also turns to international trade. Marvin suggests that Jamaica should build a stronger relationship with a wider range of countries. Instead of depending mainly on one major partner, it can create links. We have many countries in this world, so it should not rely just only in one country. And what if that one country refuses to give the support? You'll see there will be a very big problem. So that is what Marvin is trying to educate. He's trying to enlighten the Jamaicans. He mentions the idea of expanding trade with different regions of the world as a way to create more economic opportunities and reduce the risks. That was a very important. The overall message is not necessarily about ending ties with the United States. Instead, it's about you create balance so that Jamaica has more options during difficult economic times. So, one of the most emotional parts of the discussion focuses on immigration. Many Jamaican families have relatives living in the United States. Changes to immigration rules or deportation policies can therefore affect thousands of families directly. Marvin points out that while some Jamaicans face deportation or stricter immigration rules abroad, many Americans are able to live, work, retire, or invest in Jamaica. So, this comparison has led some people to ask whether the relationship between the two countries is truly balanced and unfair. For me, you cannot just come to you have been seeing a lot of Americans going to Jamaica. They have been investing there, but when it comes to Jamaica being in the United States, we have been seeing a lot of them being deported back home. So this is the issue they are talking about. Is there any fairness in that? Whatever your opinion, it's clear that immigration is more than just politics. It is a deeply personal issue for many Caribbean families. So, another issues that Marvin raised is political leadership. Marvin questions whether Jamaican leaders are doing enough to protect the country's long-term interests. He believes leaders should speak more strongly on issues that affect ordinary citizens and work harder to reduce the country's economic dependence on foreign powers. Supporters of this view believe that Jamaica should focus more on creating local jobs, supporting businesses, investing in education, improving their own agriculture, and also strengthening industries can compete internationally. However, argues that Jamaica is a relatively small economy and that maintaining stronger relationship with major trading partners remains essential for growth and stability. This is why this discussion has become so popular. It raises difficult questions that doesn't have simple answers. Should Jamaica continue relying heavily on international partners? Should it invest more in becoming economically independent? Can a small country realistically reduce its dependence on larger economies in today's globalized world? These are important questions not only for Jamaica but also for many developing countries facing similar challenges. As the heart of Marvin's message is a call for greater self-resilience. He believes Jamaica should strengthen its economy from within by supporting their local businesses, encouraging farmers, also developing industries and creating opportunities for future generations. Whether you agree with every point he makes or not, his video has started a conversation that many people believe is overdue. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Do you think Jamaica depends too much on the United States? Should the country work harder to become more economically independent? Or do you believe strong international partnership remains the best path forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks for watching out this video. I do really appreciate until I see you in the next one. Otherwise, bye. And also don't forget to subscribe and share the video out.